Hey, Ivy.
Okay. Hi.
How are you?
I was just about to ask the same thing. I'm great. I've been very busy, but it's all coming to an end, and it's good busy. So yeah, I'm great. I'm excited to be back on the pod.
Me too. It's been a while since we've
Yeah.
done an episode.
It has. Yeah. What about you? How have you been?
I've been good. I've been busy too. But yeah, that's why we haven't recorded in a minute, because we've both been busy.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Ivy and I are not in the same city. We do this on Zoom now. So
Yeah.
we need to do a
first
check-in.
few episodes. Yeah. The first few episodes were in the same city, but this is our third episode that has been on Zoom.
Yeah.
Or second.
Maybe
second. Yeah.
Yeah, second. Yeah.
I think
So it usually it takes us about half an hour to record an episode. But with the technical side of things being a little bit more
it's like
intense,
an hour easily.
Yeah, easily an hour for setup. But yeah. Cool.
Hopefully it'll be sorted out in the next couple.
Exactly.
episodes.
I'd love to streamline it for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we haven't done a news and reviews episode in a minute.
Yeah. So welcome to the win.
We do this every time we do a news and reviews episode because we don't know if we have new listeners or not. So if you haven't listened to a news and reviews episode before, the way that we format it is exactly how it sounds. We do some highlights from recent music news, and then we wrap it up with some reviews of the week, and we pick a favorite song, artist, and album of the week. And that's how we wrap up the episode. This is a big episode. We prepped a lot for this.
Yeah, we've got a lot. Our last news and reviews was a little bit short because we didn't have like a thing like Grammy nominations or highlights of 2023.
There was no event.
No. So that one was a bit short, but I think this
makes up for it.
Not get through all of our points. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll pour over into the next news and reviews episode we record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to get right into it?
Sure, let's get right into it. I feel like we should tackle the Grammys first because that's like the big thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That performance. So if you're not
oh my god.
We're talking about Dua Lipa's performance at the Grammys.
I was like, everyone in my household was like super annoyed with me because I was like, no, I don't care. I need to watch like people were like, okay, you know, like we got to have dinner, and I'm like, no. There's one night a year.
Yeah, let me live.
I got onto the live stream, or well, not live stream, but you know what I mean.
The stream or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, the like exact, like it was like 15 seconds after her performance started, and I was so lucky.
Oh my god. That she opened the show, and
yeah.
Right? Yeah. That was the first performance. Oh my god. It was a medley. She had Houdini.
Oh,
she had Training Season. She had Dance the Night.
I did not think scaffolding could be
sexy,
amazing. Like, yeah, I didn't think it. Like, it was.
Oh my god, it was such a cool prop. It looked like those like jungle or not jungle gyms, the like climbing structures that you play on as a kid.
Yeah, totally.
But like construction edition. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible choreography.
Wow.
Like,
she's picked it up because
I know the internet used to make fun of her.
Oh yeah, I mean
dancing.
she had like one move, and it was
the pencil sharpener. It was not good. But she really said, "Okay, you think I can't dance? I'll learn how to dance."
Yeah, she's like, she looks like she's been dancing all her life.
Yeah,
now.
so good. I've watched her performance. I've actually been subjecting people to it recently. I've just been like forcing people to watch that clip with me over and over. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make Mom watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our mom is visiting Lila right now.
Yes, she is. And I'm going to make her watch the Dua Lipa Grammy performance.
Yeah, so Paramore is the first female-fronted band to win the Best Rock Album category.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. Congrats to Hayley Williams.
Mm-hmm. I want to get more into Paramore because I know just a bit of their stuff, but I want to get more into it, and especially after winning a Grammy, I feel like, oh, I should know their stuff.
I know. I feel like I'm embarrassed to admit that I just know the hits. I should get more into the deep tracks.
Yeah, same.
Miley Cyrus took home her first Grammy. She took home 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she performed as well.
Yes, and in her performance, she said it was like she like ad-libbed, and she said, I didn't want to cry, but I did. I didn't want to fight, but we did, or something like that. And then she's like, started to cry, but then remembered, I just won my first Grammy.
Yeah, it was super cute.
Crazy to me that she's never won a Grammy before.
I know, it is kind of crazy. She's been on the scene for a long
most
time.
of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But she looked so good. She's like ripped. Did you
I
see
know.
her muscles? I was like, I'm jealous.
I would say like she was such a big part of the Grammys this year, which I wasn't expecting.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, I mean, I knew she was performing and I knew she'd been nominated for a couple categories, but I had no idea she was like a headline of the Grammys.
Honestly, rightfully so. She's so cool.
Yeah, Tracy Chapman performed Fast Car with Luke Combs.
I love that Tracy Chapman's having a comeback.
I know, and it was such a sweet little performance, and he was like, this is a name everybody should know because she's so impressive, and like, and I'm not into country and I'm not really into Luke Combs' music. Same. But it was like a really heartfelt little speech, and it was a really good performance. It was really sweet.
Yeah. I learned the like start of Tracy Chapman's career recently, which I didn't know. So she got invited to Nelson Mandela's 70th birthday concert tribute in London in 1988.
Oh, wow.
And she was supposed to be, it was like a crazy lineup. There was like all these really famous musicians and stuff. And she was kind of like at the bottom tier of
people. She just started making music.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd like just started making music, but she wasn't of like super huge notoriety at the time.
Okay.
And she had like a small slot, I think, because it's kind of like a festival format. And then Stevie Wonder had technical difficulties, and he was like, I'm not playing if I can't. I think it was like his keys or something didn't work. He had technical difficulties and he wasn't able to play the show to like how he wanted to play it. So Tracy Chapman took his spot, which was like obviously a headlining spot. And then the world was like, okay, who is this?
That's so interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool. Also, she's a lesbian icon, so go off.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Boy Genius told the ex-president of the Recording Academy, specifically Phoebe Bridgers, but all of them were in on it, to, quote, rot in piss. End quote.
It's so Phoebe. It's so Phoebe.
It's so good. Because he said when he was president of the Recording Academy, he said, if women want awards, then they should, quote, step up. So I stand with Phoebe.
Same.
Also, this year's Grammy winners, the women swept. So suck on that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we stand with Boy Genius always.
100%. I played Boy Genius for somebody the other day. I mean, obviously, like, everyone knows. Well,
yeah.
I would hope.
Hopefully.
And they were like, oh, this is so good. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, so tell me about Boy Genius. And I was like, well, you know, like it's Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus, Julian Baker. And they're like, oh my God, what? Like, I had no idea. I thought it was just a bunch of random people. And I was like, oh,
what?
Okay.
Crazy. That's wild. That's kind of cool though, that people, that they're known for like their group project as well as their solo, but like so separately that someone hadn't even pieced it together.
Mm-hmm. And not just listening because like they like Phoebe's music or something like that.
Exactly.
So Taylor Swift announced her new album, The Tortured Poets Department, at the Grammys when she won
Album of the Year.
Yes, when she won Album of the Year for Midnights.
Okay, I think this might be the first time we disagree on this pod.
I know. I think we're about to get into
this is a big moment. But we've actually been asked by our parents to have more.
Yeah, they were like, you know, I think it's interesting.
You guys agree too much.
Disagree.
So here you go. Here's us disagreeing. Ivy, what's your stance on Taylor announcing her album?
Okay.
At the Grammys specifically. That's what we're going to talk about.
That's the thing, because people are mad that she like put, or at least the people I've talked to are annoyed that she put the spotlight on her when it is about celebrating all artists, and also because there is an assumption if you're planning on announcing an album, there's an assumption that you will win a Grammy. So people are annoyed about that. At least that's what I've heard is the controversy. So my take, I totally understand that. I mean, I'm a Swiftie. Like, I can't deny that, obviously, like, I'm gonna lean more to her side most of the time. But I think it was perfectly reasonable. I mean, she's huge. Like, people are like, well, she didn't need another headline about her. The Grammys is about everyone. Like, just admit that you're equal to people. But also, she's not equal to everybody. She is the most famous singer in the world.
Yeah.
Today. And so I get it, though, about not, like, the assumption to win a Grammy. But I did watch an interview with her, and she was like, I just had this idea that was like, well, if I do win a Grammy, I'm just going to tell them because I've been working on it for a while and whatever. I get it, though, but I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah. Okay, my take.
Okay, time for your stance.
Time for my stance. I don't think this was cool, to be honest. I know you called me after it, and, like, listen, I'm excited to hear the album. I just don't think it was her place. Like, okay, look, I love Taylor. I also think I've been holding her to some standards recently, which I think people should be, especially because I think she's everywhere right now, and it doesn't seem to be going away. Like, she just keeps coming up with ways to stay relevant, which props to her. Not here to tear women down, but that's a horrible segue. Not here to tear down, but no, I just think it's important to hold people who are, like, of certain notoriety or have a certain amount of power to certain standards. And I think she's messed up in some areas that we don't need to get into right now. But I don't think that this was a particularly cool move. I do have to say, I feel like I feel like she knew what she was doing. And listen, she's a very smart businesswoman. Like, she knows how to sell records. She knows how to keep people on their toes. And it's like, you're on the stage of the biggest award show in the world. You have a huge platform. If you do this, you're going to have, like, media blackout, which she's really good at doing. But I think I don't know, because then that was, like, the headline for the rest of the Grammys. And it, like, took some of the spotlight off of, like, I don't know, like, Victoria Monet won Best New Artist. That was so cool. She had her daughter. Like, I just think some of the smaller artists and smaller awards and cooler things that happened at the Grammys kind of got, like, pushed aside because there was this huge sweep of Taylor Swift announcing a new album. And it's like, let's be honest, could she not have just posted it on Instagram and had, you know, like, I think she saw an opportunity and took it.
Yeah.
And I get it from a business standpoint, but I also think it was a little bit self-centered just because the Grammys is not about one person, and it ended up making all the headlines about one person.
Totally. I get that. I understand where you're coming from, and I will admit, like, it's hard for me to see her in a bad light. But yeah, recently I have been trying to open my eyes a little bit.
The jet emissions. That's that's a whole thing. We don't have to get into it.
That's a whole thing we don't need to get
into.
No,
we're not here to be a controversial podcast.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I think we can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree.
I would say it's a little bit offside, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making. Like, I think it was.
What's ironic is that even the controversy is sweeping the headlines.
Yeah,
everything has been washed out. Like, the road of other Grammy winners and Grammy news has been washed out with Taylor Swift, good or bad, doesn't matter. That's just what's happened. But I'm excited to hear the album. So,
yeah. Moving on from the Grammys.
Yeah, that concludes our Grammy section. Guys, update. The SNL curse is back. We talked about it on the last pod that Renee Rapp broke the Grammy curse.
It was, like, barely noticeable.
It was barely
like,
a curse.
Malfunction.
Yeah, her top almost came off, but it didn't.
But it didn't.
So,
and hardly anyone noticed.
No, it was hard to tell. We couldn't even notice. We watched the clip a bunch. Could barely tell. We think we found the spot, but we don't know. J-Lo had a hair malfunction on SNL. She lost.
We just watched the clip.
We watched it a couple times. It's pretty funny, to be honest. She loses her extension and then she chucks it. It gets caught on her hand and then she chucks it on the stage. I'm just thinking,
a professional though.
She is unfazed.
I feel like if I was in that position, I would just try to laugh it off, and it would just be bad.
It looks really natural when she does it. Like, you barely notice it.
Exactly.
I just feel like I'm like, what if a dancer hit the hair extension? Man down. Man down.
Yeah. It's just like you can see in the video such a level of professionalism, and it's like, oh, she's been here for a while.
She knows what
she's doing. Like, she's just like, okay, hair extensions out. I'll just chuck it. I'll think about that later.
Totally.
Yeah. Donna Summer's estate is suing Kanye West over a sample from I Feel Love. Well, she's suing Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah, they didn't clear the sample.
I mean, she's not around anymore.
Yeah, it's her
but
estate.
Her estate is suing.
I don't know. Honestly, let's tear Kanye West down, guys.
Yeah.
Not to be a controversial podcast, but
it's fine.
Also, not clearing a sample when you're that famous too. Like, I don't know.
And that's such a famous song.
Are you kidding?
Kanye is such a famous person. Like, Donna Summer is famous. I Feel Love is famous. Kanye West is famous.
Ty Dolla $ign's famous.
What? Yeah. What?
Who thought this was going to be fine?
Expect is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Who thought this was going to be fine?
We talked about copyright issues and whatever, and on the last episode, and how, like, oh, you know, if it's a similar thing and people are making such a big deal out of it, but if it's a sample that you didn't get approved,
we literally said that.
Different story.
We literally
said that. We said that.
We were like, okay, if it's like just a similarity, then maybe not. But if it's like a sample that hasn't been cleared, then okay. And let's sue.
Maggie Rogers announced a spring 2024 North American tour.
I'm excited. I want to go.
Yes. Well, you're already going to Arlo Parks.
True. So. I am going to Arlo Parks next week. Woo!
I'm very happy for Lila, but
she's like 10% happy, 90% upset.
Yeah. I cannot go, and I'm very sad. But I'm happy that you'll have that experience.
We'll get to go one day together.
Yeah. One day we will go.
When it's meant to be. Okay, we have to talk about it. Beyonce. Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. Thoughts? This is Renaissance second act.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, everyone's like so shocked.
Okay, but also I feel like she laid the groundwork, because how seamlessly did she transition from like disco cowboy to like cowboy? Because true, on the Renaissance tour, she had all this like cowboy outfit, but it was like
and
bedazzled.
The cover, she's literally on a horse.
Yeah, but now it's like, oh, wait,
you're full cowboy.
Cowboy.
I mean, honestly, it's not bad. Like, I'm not a country.
I live by the ABCs,
but I'm a Beyonce fan.
Exactly.
And she's doing a great job with it.
I live by the ABCs, which is anything but country. No hate. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I'm not a country fan.
Beyonce's country makes me want to boogie. Don't know why. It makes me want to put on spurs and go to a line dance.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with it. And she's also
because she's like, Beyonce.
Yeah. And she's at a point in her career, like she's kind of unstoppable. She can just kind of do anything she wants, and probably everybody will love it.
Exactly. Also, the co-writer for Texas Hold'em is from Calgary. Fun fact.
Oh, Canadian. Little Sims released a new album, Drop 7, on February 9th. This is the 7th drop. She released Drop 1 in 2014.
She's been building these drops.
Yes.
Taking her time.
It's, oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Ugh. Do you think this is your favorite project she's dropped yet?
Maybe, but also Sometimes I Might Be Introvert is such a good album.
Mm-hmm. I have that record on vinyl.
God.
So good.
I know.
Okay, anyway, sorry, you were going to launch into something.
Yeah, so her drops is just like unannounced, and she'll just be like, oh, okay, here's a whole new album or EP, and it's just called Drop Number. So I think it's a cool idea, because especially now, like, promotion is just everything.
I love a sneaky drop. Also, like
Totally.
from an
And then-
artist standpoint, promotion is so soul sucking. So if you're at a point in your career where you can avoid promotion, do it.
Totally. I mean, like if you're just starting out, like it's probably not your in your best interest to be
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm just gonna
Surprise
put music
drop.
out and not tell anyone. But like, it's super cool because then you have this new album and I'm sure she's like releasing things about it after.
Yeah.
But it's just like, and then you're not trying to make anybody happy with your music. Like you're just trying to put your art out in the world. You're not trying to please anyone, which is super cool.
Yeah. I'm obsessed. On the topic of releases and like albums and stuff, Billie Eilish. We were just talking about this last news and reviews, how we just want more of her music.
I know. And now
It's mastered. She announced
maybe
it.
she listened.
She listened. She's part of our 40 listeners, you guys. So far, we have
Yeah.
Joni Mitchell and Billie Eilish who have apparently listened, or that, or we're psychic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way.
Hopefully Arlo Parks is another of the 40 listeners.
Yeah.
Because then she can just get me tickets.
Exactly. She'll fly you out
But-
for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, Billie Eilish announced that her album is mastered. So stuff coming up for her.
That means it's coming
It's
up.
coming up, guys. Welcome back.
Hi. Welcome to the reviews segment of our news and reviews podcast.
Ivy, do you want to remind our listeners how we pick these things?
Yeah. So we try to pick every time we make an episode, we pick a song of the week, an artist of the week, and an album of the week. Our only criteria is that they're a relatively small artist and we both agree that they totally need to be talked about and we just both love them.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. So the artist that made the cut this week. So our album of the week is 4 in Winter by Rachel Chinouriri. We love her. We love
She's awesome.
her.
She's like pop R&B,
Yeah,
but she has kind of a really unique sound and a gorgeous voice.
totally. And like the production on her songs and albums. Like we're recommending this album, but check out the rest of her discography because it's worth it.
Totally.
So that's
All
our
I
album of the
ever
week.
asked.
Oh,
Yeah, all I
that
ever
song
asked.
and Darkest Place, which is on this album.
Oh my god.
So good.
I could listen to that just on a loop. Just
Exactly. And
forever
there's a bunch of
and ever and ever.
remixes of that song on this album as well, so we
Yeah,
recommend you check it out.
Totally. So our artist of the week is Katie Tupper.
She's Canadian.
Woo! She is like she's a soul artist,
Yeah.
I would say.
Like jazz,
Yeah.
R&B, soul.
Yeah.
Her voice is beautiful.
Oh my god, totally. She's like I feel like her and Joy Crooks, those are two artists that like their music is great. It like totally love it. But like I could literally just listen to them sing without any music, just the
Yeah.
vocals, and I would be so happy. Like
Yeah.
and Katie Tupper, her album Towards the End, all right, that's an EP. You showed that to me,
Yeah.
and I've just been obsessed.
Yeah. Yeah. So check out Katie Tupper. Our song of the week is Vertigo by Griff. Love this song. She'd been promoting it for a while before announcing that it was coming out, just kind of like playing a couple clips on TikTok and stuff. And
Yeah.
like the hook is just so catchy and the song is so beautiful and the lyricism in it.
Totally.
We love it.
Totally.
So
Yeah. I love a song that you can get in your head and you can like totally groove to, but it's actually like the lyrics are actually so
good.
deep and
Yeah.
thoughtful.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So that pretty much wraps up our episode for this week. But check out
Yeah.
those 3 recommendations from us.
Totally.
Our next episode is an interview with Hallelujah Halu, and it'll be out on March 25th. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for listening to the Women in Music Podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the WIM Podcast. That's the WIM Podcast. And subscribe to the Women in Music Podcast on Spotify. Now to close us out, here's our song of the week, Vertigo by Griff.